A few weeks ago, the WWE announced that Mickie James would be entering the Women's Royal Rumble this year. That shocked a ton of wrestling fans because that essentially means that it opened up the forbidden door. The WWE doesn't typically open up this door, allowing wrestlers outside of their company to appear on their shows. However, this makes the Royal Rumble even more unpredictable. In fact, there was a report that came out a few days after that news when it broke out saying that the WWE is planning on having a Forbidden Door entrant in the Men's Royal Rumble that they want to keep a secret. With AEW being the second biggest wrestling company in the world and having some former WWE guys in it, it seems like an AEW employee could show up this Saturday. In this video, I'm going to explore 7 wrestlers from AEW that could appear at the Royal Rumble. Number 7, The Big Show. The first person on the list is Paul White, aka The Big Show. White left WWE in 2020 because he didn't like how his character was being handled. I just remember the last thing we saw from Big Show in WWE was when he was being choked by Randy Orton, and I feel like him being bitched by Orton was definitely the thing that led to him leaving. Anyways, Paul White has been on AEW for quite some time now, and occasionally wrestles matches on AEW Dark Elevation, and even made an appearance at the All Out pay-per-view last year. I can really see him coming back to the WWE just for the Royal Rumble because the WWE audience loves The Big Show. He's been a star in the company since his debut in 1999, and it would be a fun moment if we're being completely honest with you. It won't change much, but it'll be like, oh, that's The Big Show, that's cool. Number 6, Bryan Danielson. Daniel Bryan wrestled his last match in WWE on April 30th, 2021 against Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship in one of the best matches of that year. Bryan decided not to sign another contract with WWE. Instead, he joined AEW and made his debut at the ending of the All Out pay-per-view. Bryan Danielson has been on one of the best runs of his entire career, putting on classic matches every single week. It's actually very impressive how consistent he has been. If Tony Khan wants more eyes on one of the biggest stars in his company right now, it would be wise to allow him to enter the Royal Rumble. Everybody wins in this situation. More people will hear about AEW because of Danielson's appearance, and the WWE fans would love this moment because I don't think many of them would be expecting it to happen in the first place. Number 5, Wardlow. The WWE is reportedly very interested in signing Wardlow once his contract with AEW is up. That makes me think that he could possibly enter the Royal Rumble. I'm fully aware that most of the WWE audience would be confused about who he is, but this could really only benefit the WWE if they want to sign him down the line. Company officials, or maybe even the chairman himself, Vince McMahon, could talk to him about the potential they see in him. Imagine hearing Vince McMahon tell you that he wants to make you the star of his company, which is the biggest wrestling company in the world, and that could make you the most money. I think that would be a huge moment for Wardlow. And similar to Bryan Danielson, this would also help Wardlow get a lot of new eyes on the product. If they like what they see, they can follow his journey over at AEW. It also adds more to the story of MJF. Making an appearance at WWE because they are interested in him could make MJF's character even more angry and jealous at Wardlow. So it does make sense. Number 4, Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is currently wrestling at All Elite Wrestling without a contract. News broke out that he didn't re-sign yet, and this has people speculating that he might leave the company and work with WWE. I don't necessarily think that that will be the case because of just how important Cody Rhodes is to AEW, but then again, you know what they say, never say never. I think making an appearance at the Royal Rumble for a one-time thing could be very interesting to say the least. There's a much greater chance of this happening instead of him actually signing with WWE. This would be great for Cody Rhodes if he wants to attract more heat from the AEW audience. They would definitely hate him some more if Cody Rhodes would brag about being at the Royal Rumble. Number 3, Chris Jericho. The AEW wrestler that most people think has the highest chance of actually entering the Royal Rumble is Chris Jericho. I can really see that being the case as well. The first notable thing to mention is that Chris Jericho has already worked with WWE while being employed with AEW. The WWE wanted Chris Jericho on Stone Cold's podcast that was on the WWE Network and Peacock. Chris Jericho made the appearance, and some believe that the Forbidden Door was opening, but it really didn't lead to much except for Jericho and Austin talking about AEW, which was cool. If WWE really wants to shock their audience, Chris Jericho is literally the perfect legend to bring back. The WWE Universe has not seen this guy since January 22nd in 2018 for the Raw 25th Anniversary Special, and even that was a one-time appearance. Before that, he was at the SmackDown in July of 2017. It's been a long time since we've seen Y2J in WWE, and I think it would be pretty cool if he came back. It's not my first choice, but I would be happy with the decision, you know? Number 2, Jon Moxley. I made a video talking about Jon Moxley appearing at the Royal Rumble a couple weeks ago, and there weren't any rumors or anything like that. I literally just thought that it would be really cool to see him enter the Royal Rumble because Moxley was a big star for WWE. It's been forever since he stepped foot inside a WWE ring, and Moxley has become a much better version of himself. Now, I believe it might happen even more because the WWE made a few Moxley references on their last episode of SmackDown. Seth Rollins and Pat McAfee both mentioned him. What's even more interesting is that they didn't even refer to him as Ambrose. They both said Moxley. McAfee even said it twice. You would assume that if he said it the first time without the permission, he would be yelled at and he wouldn't do it a second time, but he wasn't. I know that this might be the WWE just trolling, but this means that it could actually happen, and it seems like the WWE might be open to the idea. And number 1, MJF. And the last person on this list that I actually want to see the most in the Royal Rumble is Maxwell Jacob Friedman. MJF entering the Royal Rumble probably would get a good reaction from the hardcore WWE fans that watch wrestling outside of Raw and SmackDown. This one makes a lot of sense for both companies. This is how WWE would benefit from this happening. The company, as well as the network executives, reportedly want WWE to sign him to a contract in the year of 2024. It makes sense because he's been the best thing about AEW, if we're being completely honest with you. MJF can cut the best promos, and he also has really good matches, and honestly, he's like up there as the number 1 guy for me. When you also consider that he's this good at his age, it is clear that you can make him a top guy for at least a decade. Having him around the creative team, Vince McMahon, Bruce Pritchard, and other important people in the back is good for both parties. The company can get a better feel of what kind of person he is, while MJF can get a personal experience of the boys in the back. On the other hand, this also falls perfectly into the MJF storyline with CM Punk. Max can keep talking about the WWE and how he made the Royal Rumble and whatnot, and then CM Punk could be like, I'll be in the Rumble in a couple years to get some more heat, and the fans would just boo him even more. This needs to happen. It is a perfect match made in heaven. I really don't think that MJF is going to be the one if they do have a Forbidden Door entrant, just because, like I said, it feels like the WWE wants a legend that the WWE audience knows, and that's why I think Chris Jericho or Jon Moxley, those are more likely candidates, but you know what, a boy can dream. Anyways, that is it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. Comment down below who you think the Forbidden Door entrant is going to be, and I'll see you all in the next video.